Mulga seeds come from the wattle species Acacia onura. This evergreen wattle is a common, slow-growing native Australian tree that flowers from March to July. It produces flat, membranous pods that each contain an average of 3 dark brown edible mulga seeds. The mulga seed is classified as a legume as it belongs to the vegetable and legume bean food group. Morphologically, the seeds contain an aril, which is an outer seed covering that grows from the attachment point of a seed pod and is rich in oils. The seed coating is thick and formed from non-digestible insoluble fibre. Depending on the processing method, both the aril and seed coat can be removed prior to consumption, affecting the total nutritional content. The remaining nutritional content is derived from the inner embryo and endosperm. Traditionally, the seeds are prepared through roasting, grinding, and formation of seed cakes that are cooked again on a fire. Mulga seeds are widely available throughout Australia and are a drought-tolerant food source that provided sustained energy and essential nutrients to the Indigenous peoples of Australia. The Australian Food Database provides a general Acacia seed nutrition profile displaying that mulga seeds contain 1,130 kilojoules per 100 grams, derived from 17.2 grams of protein, 10.5 grams of carbs in the form of starch, 52.2 grams of dietary fibre, and just over 6 grams of fat. The fat content of mulga seeds contributes to 19% of the energy content. With reference to SAN Schedule 4, it is determined that the claims low in saturated fat and cholesterol-free are appropriate for mulga seeds. Palmitic acid accounts for the highest proportion of saturated fatty acids present within the product. It is a long-chain fatty acid that is in most abundance within the human body, stored in adipose tissue and within the phospholipid bilayer. While high intakes can lead to health risks such as heart disease, a low intake will not detrimentally influence the necessary tissue concentrations, as it is counterbalanced by endogenous biosynthesis via processing of lipogenesis. Saturated fats should account for less than 10% of the daily kilojoule intake, and mulga seeds only account for less than 0.1%, so do not pose any of the health risks that are associated with saturated fats. The only monounsaturated fat present is oleic acid. This is an omega-9 fatty acid and the most predominant monounsaturated fat consumed within the diet. Here, it contributes only 0.17% of the daily kilojoule intake. The polyunsaturated fatty acids are present in the highest quantity at 56%. Increasing the intake of mono and polyunsaturated fats such as these has been shown to decrease the risk of chronic disease due to their ability to reduce LDL and increase HDL within the blood. After the enzymatic digestion of triglycerides within the mouth, stomach, and small intestines, the uptake of fatty acids is dependent on the concentration and distribution of triglycerides. Some fat can be trapped by fiber and excreted through the feces, but most is absorbed by intestinal cells through micellar. The short and medium chain fatty acids, such as capric acid, are absorbed directly into the bloodstream, while the long chain fatty acids of palmitic and oleic acid are absorbed through formation of micelles and transported to the lymphatic system via chylomicrons. These are then transported to the liver for processing and appropriate transport and storage. The carbohydrate content within mulga seeds is derived from starch. Per serving, the mulga seeds contribute to just below 1% of the daily kilojoule intake, as dietary guidelines suggest that carbs should contribute to 45 to 65%. Mulga seeds are not a good source of carbohydrates. After the digestion of starch via enzymatic amylase, the monosaccharides can be readily absorbed by epithelial cells of the small intestines, where they are transported to the liver and stored as glycogen. After adding large amounts of mulga seeds as a low GI complex carbohydrate source within the diet can aid in protecting against chronic disease such as heart disease and stroke. The high fiber content of mulga seeds does not contribute to energy content, as it is insoluble and non-fermentable by intestinal bacteria. Per serve, mulga seeds almost meet the whole RDI for women and provide only 5 grams short of the RDI for men. Insoluble fiber adds to fecal bulk and draws water into the intestinal lumen, providing many health benefits such as decreasing intestinal discomfort, symptoms of constipation, and helping protect against hemorrhoids, colon cancer, diverticulitis, and obesity. The protein in mulga seeds is not considered a high quality protein as it does not provide enough of all of the essential amino acids. After digestion, single amino acids are absorbed via specific carriers into the small intestines where they are transported to the liver for processing. Through transcription and translation, amino acids are bound together to form new proteins as they are acquired within the body. The amino acid tryptophan is necessary for several purposes, including the synthesis of niacin. Niacin is a coenzyme necessary for many metabolic reactions and is central to the metabolism of glucose, fat, and alcohol. Mulga seeds are rich in minerals, especially potassium, calcium, magnesium, and iron. Absorbed in the small intestines, minerals do not yield energy but are important for many functions, including bone health, fluid balance, acid-base balance, energy metabolism, the immune system. Potassium is a major mineral that is necessary for electrolyte balance, nerve impulses, and muscle contraction. Due to this, deficiencies will include irregular heartbeat and muscle weakness. Calcium is also a major mineral that is necessary for the mineralization of bone and teeth and muscle contraction and relaxation. If deficient in this mineral, there is a great risk for conditions such as osteoporosis or stunted growth. Similarly to calcium, magnesium is also essential for bone mineralization and muscle contraction, but has further roles in nerve impulse transmission and immune function. One serve of mulga seeds provides a good source of magnesium and could reduce the risk for deficiencies. The final mineral that is present is iron. Iron is a trace mineral that is an essential component of the protein hemoglobin for the transport of oxygen from the lungs to cells. Iron deficiency or anemia is one of the most common mineral deficiencies seen in adults and causes weakness and fatigue. The vitamin content of mulga seeds includes niacin, B6, vitamin E, and small amounts of folate and thiamine. Present in the highest quantity is a coenzyme niacin due to the niacin equivalent derived from tryptophan. Including the niacin equivalent, one serve of mulga seeds provides an excellent source of niacin, and there is no risk of toxicity as harm is not caused from naturally occurring food sources. There is also a good source of B6 in mulga seeds. Pyroxidine is necessary in amino acid metabolism and can transfer amino groups to keto acids to form non-essential amino acids as they are required. It is also important for cognitive performance and immune function. Finally, vitamin E is a fat-soluble antioxidant which is important for protecting vulnerable compounds from free radicals. Considered a legume, the mulga seeds may be consumed and prepared through various methods. To access the seed, non-edible pods are placed into the fire until they open along the single margin. The seeds must then be dried on a fire, then ground into a nut-flavored flour. This can be mixed into a dough with other cereals or used alone to make seed cakes that are toasted or baked. Due to the high heat, mechanical forces, and exposure to light throughout preparation, damages to vitamin E, niacin, B6, folate, and thiamine may occur and decrease their availability. As the average Australian is lacking between 5 and 10 grams of dietary fibre per day, the Australian Dietary Guidelines recommends an effective way to incorporate fibre into the diet is through legumes, as mulga beans are an excellent source of fibre with almost 25 grams per serve. Adding just 10 to 15 or 1 to 1.5 tablespoons of ground mulga flour to one serve of pancakes will add a great nutty flavour and is a very easy way to meet the daily recommendations of fibre. To reduce the risk of destroying the vitamin content through the cooking process, however, mulga seed powder could be added into smoothies in place of peanut butter or other seeds to create a fibre and nutrient-rich snack.